transformed and covered by you. So God, I submit myself fully to what you have already predetermined this moment to be. And I ask that you have your way. In Jesus' name.
Went to the church, got baptized, started their own church, and began a new life. How many career criminals went to the church, got baptized, and started a new life? If Puffy is interested in the church, he could, without question, redeem himself through the church, because the black church forgives everybody for anything. As far as him being at the Puff Daddy freak-offs, clearly that is behavior unbecoming of a pastor. Clearly that is behavior unbecoming of a pastor. But he's not the first to do something like that, and he's not the last to do something like that. I mean, let's be honest, every day we have pastors, black and white, being exposed in this country, sleeping with minors, molesting kids.
The rumors surrounding Diddy and Bishop T.D. Jakes being involved in so-called freak-off parties have set the internet ablaze, stirring up serious gossip and controversy. These alleged parties, which Diddy is said to have hosted for years, were reportedly filled with A-list celebrities, politicians, and even influential religious figures like T.D. Jakes. The idea of a well-known religious leader like Jakes being involved in such wild, secretive parties has shocked fans and followers alike. According to some sources, these gatherings weren't just about music and networking, but involved very questionable and explicit activities. Diddy, who's already been accused of hosting these notorious parties for decades, is now facing a new level of scrutiny, with whispers that he may have drawn powerful figures like Jakes into the mix. Although no concrete evidence has been provided to back these claims, the rumors persist, with people online speculating about the darker side of Diddy's social circle.
Ask you is this, right? Is there any possible way that Diddy can bounce back from this, from your point of view?
Yes, he can. Should he? Probably not. Can he? Yes, he can. Because we have the Christian church in Black America. And Black America are suckers for a good redemption story. How many murderers went to the church, got baptized, started their own church, and began a new life? How many career criminals went to the church, got baptized, and started a new life? If Puffy is interested in the church, he could, without question, redeem himself through the church, because the black church forgives everybody for anything. Let me say that again. The black church forgives everybody for anything. If Puff Daddy goes and gets baptized, apologizes for all he's ever done, whether he's sincere or insincere, Black Christian America will give him another chance. He can come back, because people who are guilty of things that are almost as grotesque have also come back before him. Yes, he can come back if he baptizes himself, joins the church, and professes to be saved by Christ.
Speaking of the church, right, how you feel about T.D. Jakes? Because what caught my attention about him is, you know, it's a lot of people that have mixed feelings about him. You have some people that's a fan of his, and you have some people that feel like he's a fraud. But how you feel about him?
I'm not going to call him a fraud. I'm not a fan of T.D. Jakes, because I don't see T.D. Jakes doing enough to help Black America. That's really my only gripe with the man. As far as him being at the Puff Daddy freak-offs, clearly that is behavior unbecoming of a pastor. Clearly that is behavior unbecoming of a pastor. But he's not the first to do something like that, and he's not the last to do something like that. I mean, let's be honest, every day we have pastors, black and white, being exposed in this country, sleeping with minors, molesting kids, cheating on their wives, stealing from the church. It's no longer a shock to find out a pastor has been outed as being a closet homosexual or an abuser of children. It's no longer a shock. And that's sad. But my issue with T.D. Jakes is he makes too much money. His church brings in too much revenue for them not to have a school for our children, for them not to have a hospital for our children, for them not to have a bank for our families, for them not to have a supermarket to provide our people with good food. TD Jakes' church brings in too much revenue for him not to be a factor in the resurrection of Black America. That's my issue with TD Jakes.
Yeah, I mean, if he's making that kind of money, he should be doing more, So I hear you on that, man. But I want to ask you, from your point of view, what do you think is going to happen to Diddy?
I don't know the answer to that, but here's what I do know. Sean Puffy Combs, from the white power structure perspective, is guilty of committing celebrity crimes while no longer being relevant to the white power structure. One thing we know about racism and Black celebrities, when you are no longer a benefit to us, we no longer provide you with the protection you need to operate above the law. That went for Michael Jackson, that went for Prince, that went for Whitney Houston, that went for, it goes for all the celebrities, Bill Cosby, R. Kelly, now Sean Puffy Combs. This is why when LeBron James retires from the NBA, he's going to have to be more careful. You have to be more careful when you're no longer the man. You have to be more careful when you're no longer on top, because when you are no longer of earning potential for us, when we can no longer flip a quick dollar off you, we send you back to the plantation to be with the rest of the Negroes. You're no longer special. Get out the house, go back to the plantation. And when you back on that plantation with the rest of Black America, you will be treated and viewed just like the rest of Black America. Puffy might be shot. Bill Cosby may have been shot. R. Kelly may have been shot. How dare you do this to me? Look at what I've done for you. I've remade hip hop for you. It doesn't matter, Puff Daddy. You ain't had a hit in years. You ain't been musically relevant to the white power structure in years. Puffy should have been more careful about his behavior, although none of us, including me, would ever condone or excuse domestic abuse. When you no longer matter to them, they no longer matter to you.
Yo, happy to have you back on the platform, man. It's been a while, man. I haven't had you on the platform in a long time, man.
Man, stop playing, man. I ain't never left, man. Shit. All I did was change clothes.
So I want to get right into it, man. How you feel about these rumors surrounding, Diddy and TD Jakes?
Man, what I think about it is this, when I grew up in the church, the sinners was not supposed to have the same atmosphere with the saints. You have to be able to separate the two. So I'm looking at him as a saint going to a party that ain't nothing but sin, drinking, maybe fornication, man on man, woman on woman, he on she. But maybe he there to lay some hands on somebody. Maybe he there to save some souls. I know he got a contract with Revolt, so I'm just like, it's just real strange that he would be found at any kind of Diddy party or any kind of place with Diddy unless it's in a business atmosphere. So now what he's doing is he's making, man, he making the Christians look real bad right about now.
And you've been to these parties, right?
Oh yeah, I was there when he was doing the white parties in the Hamptons and the whole 9 yards. So I know what goes on at the parties. If, they probably got a little bit more freakier, as time went on, because they got to the point whereas that they didn't even care. It used to be secretly, where people used to go to, separate rooms and different rooms, and they wasn't doing that out in the public, but now they don't care. Men kissing men and all this other shit. Man, it's crazy.
So why do you think he was going to these parties?
I think that he's going to the Diddy parties, bruh. if he's going, well, we know he's going to the Diddy parties, and I know that it's, I know what usually happens at the Diddy party, or what we told us happened at the Diddy parties. Maybe he needs to see it for himself, man. Maybe he needs to go there and really be involved in some things that could help save some individuals while they going to those parties. Or maybe he just going to, man, it's hard to even talk about. Why would you find a religious man, you know, when you know that the saints supposed to separate themselves from the sinners? And why would a religious man like himself be at a party which ain't nothing but sin that's going on, bro? Whether it's drinking, maybe fornicating, maybe, like I said, men on men, women on women. It's hard to put in perspective unless he's involving himself what is actually going on at the parties. It's hard, brother. Bro, you know, you can't, I really don't know why, as a spiritual advisor to him, that they buddy while he got a party with him like that and be at his parties. It's got to be, maybe it's something more that meets the eye. You know, I don't know. You know, I've had, you know, I've talked to preachers and I've talked to reverends and priests, but they ain't never came to a party with me or nothing like that. So it's hard to figure that one out, bruh, without even saying, you know, what people might be thinking. But I heard that there's supposed to be some tapes or something that's coming out real soon. And I guess we'll all really know the truth if anything's on those tapes.
From your point of view, right, when you look at TD Jakes, your point of view, your opinion, do you take him serious as a pastor?
Do I take him serious? That's not my type of pastor. You know, you got to look at a person's household. And if your household is not in order, you understand, how you going to help somebody else get their house in order? You know, one of his sons got arrested, you know, some years ago in Dallas, you know, allegedly for being found in a park where a bunch of people that are homosexuals hang out and indulge in sexual activity. And I heard his two sons, which are not his biological sons, both of them are from that LGBT community. Now, how you gonna help me straighten out my house? And to me, your house ain't in order. Not saying that something is wrong with them being and choosing that lifestyle, but something is wrong with them choosing that lifestyle, being in a household with a reverend.
Allegedly, those who attended these parties would engage in various illicit activities far removed from the public images they project, which has led to calls for an investigation into the claims. The speculation only intensifies the more people connect Diddy's social network to powerful figures both in and outside the entertainment industry. While both Diddy and TD Jakes have stayed relatively quiet on the subject, their reputations are now being questioned, especially as Diddy's name continues to be dragged into lawsuits and legal battles regarding his past behavior. Many are now left wondering whether these freak-off parties were as scandalous as the rumors claim, and if figures like Jakes were really involved. Whether these allegations hold any truth or not, they're adding another layer of drama to the ongoing controversy surrounding Diddy.